We are extremely delighted to know that you have qualified the civil services exam this year with all India rank 84. We would like to extend heartiest congratulations from the entire team of Lukmaan IAS.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind words.
Right. And Ansari sir has also extended his warm greetings to you for the selection in the civil services this year. And
I do. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully you're going to get a very good service. I mean, the service of your choice. You may have IAS, maybe, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, Sujawal, it is it is an moment of honor for the organization to see, people who are associated with, any capacity as a student, right, to get selected. Because once a student gets selected, not only his career, gets secured, but also he gets an opportunity to do something better for the society at large. So we see this as an opportunity to interact with the students like you who, have qualified the examination and are going to join the workforce in one of the leading capacities at an early age. So this is a moment of honor for not only the organization Lukmaan IAS, but also for the people who are around you. Everybody expects you to deliver more in the coming years once you are in service.
Yeah, absolutely. There are expectations from the society and your closed ones that since now you have got the opportunity to be a part of the system and deliver services. So yes, there are expectations, and I think that is the major calling or kick one should have to meet the expectations, give their best, and to be a part of the growth trajectory of our nation and of the world as a whole.
All right. So, Sujawal, please tell us something, in brief about you. How you are planning for your next phase, once you are into service. Tell us something in brief so that the students, later on, if they watch your video, they get inspired about this service that you are about to go into.
You want to know my plans for what I want to do in the services or my brief background?
Little bit about yourself.
I come from the city of Abohar, district Fazilka, from the state of Punjab. I am a chartered accountant. I qualified in 2018, and I worked in India and then in Brazil, then in Japan. I started preparing for civil services in June 2019. This was my second attempt. Before this, I had qualified Punjab Civil Services exam with rank 7, and I was allocated the executive branch. Right now, I am undergoing training in Moga district, and I have secured All India rank 84 in Civil Service exam 2021 with the God's grace and blessings of my elders, and obviously with the support, guidance of teachers, and the support of my friends and well-wishers.
So, share your experience about preparation as a subject. So, how did you prepare ethics, and what would you suggest a person is planning to study ethics? How should he go about structuring his or her preparation towards ethics as a subject?
To my mind, ethics is one of the very interesting exam of the GS papers, and besides that, it is also the most rewarding one, because if one has a strong grip over ethics, then it helps in the undoubtedly in ethics exam, then also in the essay part, and then it impacts your overall personality and helps you build a strong ethical and a personality of integrity in interview as well. And then it obviously carries forward throughout your life. It helps you solve the ethical dilemmas or actual practical situations when you face. Then you have a lot of sources or measures to fall back on to analyze and understand that what should I do in this particular scenario. Regarding a theoretical part or just sticking myself to the preparation, I had referred Ansari sir's resources for both theory and for case studies. I had attended Ansari sir's case study classes and we gave a lot of tests as well. I found the classes very useful. To me, having very little background of philosophy or the ethical concepts, I could easily pick up all the concepts as explained by Ansari sir.
They build a strong conceptual foundation, and I built upon them by using the real life examples, case studies, practicing daily, and then improving my answer writing. Uh, with Due to the certain circumstances due to COVID, I got extra time before prelims, due to which I was easily able to complete ethics before prelims. But to all the my co-aspirants and future aspirants, I would advise that please ensure you complete your ethics before the prelims itself. Do not keep it pending after the prelims, that I'll do after prelims. I was also about to do the same mistake, but fortunately I was saved, because if you've already completed ethics before, and then it is easy to do the answer writing, uh, do the value addition, and then it gives you confidence also. But yes, agar due to some reasons or due to paucity of time, you are not able to complete it before prelims, it's still fine. But it is the best case scenario that you finish the subject before prelims. It hardly takes 20 days, or to keep it into hours, 200 250 hours to finish the subject in one go, to have a couple of revisions also. And I very personally, I used to what I used to do is I used to have a list of some 100 150 keywords, and then some 30 40 quotes, then 20 30 examples, which are like highly useful in almost all the scenarios. And I used to revise them almost daily, maybe twice a day after prelims and before mains, due to which I was able to internalize them. And then once the exams came, I was able to actually execute my strategy. And then fortunately I have secured 114 marks, which to my limited knowledge are like one of the like highest. I don't know what is the highest marks,
Yeah.
but yes, these were good marks given this year's score in ethics.
So tell us something about like how did you prepare ethics, and also like how do you suggest a person who is thinking of preparing ethics how he should go about structuring his preparation for ethics as a subject?
First of all, ethics is a very interesting and rewarding subject. So it should be prepared not right in the beginning, but I'd say if we have prelims in May or June, then ideal time to my mind is to prepare ethics in December, January, February, or up to mid of March, and then after prelims. This is the ideal time. The best case scenario should be to complete ethics classes or resource, whatever one refers to, before the prelims itself, because it gives the then time to add value to answer writing, improve upon the concepts, and fill the gaps wherever there are. But most of the students, due to paucity of time, they are not able to do that, and that's absolutely fine. It can be done after the prelims as well. But if you have time, then yes, please try to do that. Regarding approaching the ethics paper, I'd say have a very clear conceptual clarity of the concepts. Syllabus is very clearly defined. Hardly, I'd say there are 10 to 12 lines in the syllabus, having 4 to 5 keywords in each lines. So syllabus you should be have wholeheartedly. You should have learned and internalized the syllabus, and then on every word of syllabus you should have a one pager or a two pager notes. Ansari sir's notes, I refer to Ansari sir's notes, and then case study classes and the consequent tests. I have thoroughly relied on them, obviously adding some quotes, real life examples, and the newspaper examples and case studies as they continue to come. So these are more than sufficient in ethics. To my mind, a lot of thinkers or very different or dynamic thinkers or theories are not required. Basic theories, the fundamental core theories, yes, they are required. After that, you develop the examples ranging from civil services to corporate to international relations at India level to your personal life. or which is widely known. In first attempt, I got 90 marks in ethics, and in second attempt, I got 114, which to my limited knowledge is one of the highest. And I changed two things in my second attempt. In first attempt, I was focusing on number of points. Just like any other GS paper, I was writing a lot of points. If there was a 10 marker, I wanted to write 7, 8, 9, 10 points. But in that, I was compromising on quality, compromising on timing, and then was not able to complete the paper. And then the impact on examiner was less. In second attempt, what I did was I started focusing on quality. That is, if I write three good points with a couple of examples supporting each point, or maybe an example supporting each point, a diagram or a quote, then that was what I did in the second attempt. In most of the theory questions, I ensured that there is at least one quote in every answer. Either it is introduction, or it is in body, or it is in conclusion. And then a lot of examples. So to my mind, a lot of practice of ethics has to be done. And it is very interesting. Once you have a very your core prepared, कि मतलब आपने क्लास वगैरह लगा ली या आपने नोट्स वगैरह पढ़ लिए, once you're done with that, बस उसके बाद start as writing answers and start inculcating examples. जो आपका GS के एग्जाम्पल है, इकोनॉमी के एग्जाम्पल है, हिस्ट्री, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, पिक अप अ लॉट ऑफ एग्जाम्पल्स फ्रॉम मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री. मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री हमने बिल्कुल रटी होती है. So pick up a lot of examples from modern history, non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, revolutionaries, and then the lack of accountability in Britishers, for example, at Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So, wo examples we already know. We just know how to fit what and where. And it is all about application and innovation. So I think ethics is one of the paper which gives you a lot of scope for innovation, and one of the interesting, one of the most rewarding, and one should thoroughly enjoy this exam.
All right. And so how did you go about making notes for ethics before examination?
So I had Ansari sir's class notes and Ansari sir's ethics case studies classes which I attended. I revised them 3 to 4 times, and then I extracted my own notes from them. I made them in soft copy in Evernote, and I kept on including examples in them. So I used to have a basic theory notes in Evernote, and then based on everyday reading of newspaper, I used to keep adding examples in separate Evernote. So after a month or regular period, I would see that which example can be fit in which part of the theory, and then I would include those examples in that part. So I used to do this exercise every fortnight or every month, and then after 2-3 months, I had a super strong content backed by a lot of examples and diagrams, which I replicated in exam. And the notes should be such that you should be able to revise them in 3 to 4 hours at the end of the day, means before exams. So such number of revisions should be done, and the only baseline I'd say is कि मजा आना चाहिए पढ़ने में, and you should thoroughly enjoy those notes. If you're enjoying them, then you will not get tired. But if it is just a burden, then even very small notes will not give you happiness.
All right. So did you also refer to previous year question papers of UPSC, like for, like preparing your ethics paper, ethics as a subject?
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I did was I had one of my friend who was preparing with me in library only. He had got selected in the previous attempt itself, but he was improving his rank. So we picked up all the questions from 2013 till 2020. 13 questions each. 13 into 8 is somewhere around 104. And we used to discuss 1 year's means 13 questions every day orally. We would just read a question, give each other a couple of minutes, then think to our mind that what will be the intro, body, conclusion, and what all examples can we include. Then we would share our ideas with each other, and then we would exchange the ideas that yes, this example can be written, I skipped this. And we used to do this exercise almost daily after prelims, before prelims, not much. So that helped us broaden our horizons and gave us a lot of further material which we could replicate in exam. So previous years are very, very important. Verbatim 3-4 question to repeat hone hi hone. And previous years give you an idea of what to do and what not to do. Attitude, aptitude, these questions we start focusing too much on theory. But you will see that hardly any question is asked on theory. They are just application-based questions. And one should also please focus on that the theoretical part should be read in such a manner that you please use those theoretical concepts, points, rationals in your case study also. So if we have read something about attitude, persuasion, and socialization in our theory, And we should use such points in case study while solving a case study. If we have to give way forward, we have to write about socialization, and we have to write about attitude change, and then maybe give an example of Swachh Bharat mission or attitude change by Gandhi जी सत्याग्रह. तो भी वही मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री आपके करंट अफेयर्स की एग्जांपल उठाओ और इधर उधर बस फिट करने आने चाहिए आपको. बहुत ज्यादा नए एग्जांपल ढूंढने में मत जाओ. You should know कि जो आपके पास है उसे कहाँ फिट करना है. I think that is that, and once you start doing that, you start enjoying that.
All right. So, like many students have this dilemma in their mind, like whether to study as a single person while going to the library, or we should create a group of, I mean, like-minded people and discuss about our strategy. So, how do you see the group study and self-study part? I mean, if someone is going to a library, right? So, what should be the proper balance, or like what is your take on this viewpoint?
I think every person has their own individual characteristics, and one should follow which suits a person best. To me personally, I have never engaged in group study till UPSC. For UPSC also, for the first year, though I used to have a good circle of friends, I used to study in library only. But I never engaged into group study. I knew that I have to attend classes or I have to study these books. I have to revise them, then I have to write down, I have to make notes, then hardly anybody can help me in them. I just used to take guidance that what should I do in this, what should I skip, how do I make notes, take someone else's notes, take reference, and then do on your own. I think that's what today's Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which our Honorable PM talks about. So you have to be self-reliant, and then you can engage with others. That is very personal opinion of mine. So once I had developed a decent competence, then I started engaging with other friends or people to see that where I stand, what do I need to learn, what are my limitations or dark spots, because such is the vast syllabus that we tend to oversee our dark spots. We don't know that we don't know what we don't know. So for that, group study is very important, and after a certain period of time, one starts getting bored also. So if one has a group of like-minded people, it keeps you going, and it is a very you start studying in a very light mood. It doesn't tire you. So yes, after second prelims in my second attempt, I did a lot of answer writing and answer discussions with 2-3 people who were like very like-minded, and you see that if I sit with them, then there is a mutual sharing of information, not one way, because otherwise then you tend to lose the purpose for which you have set down. So yes, first focus on yourself, develop a decent level, and then engage with people, because to me that is the what worked for me.
Right. So, like, since like you told, like you are a working professional now, like you have joined the state civil services by qualifying the exam with 7th rank, right? So, like, there is another dilemma among students, like, what should be the proper balance in the hours that we put into studies, like, the quality versus quantity, kind of dilemma, like, what should be the minimum number of hours that one should put to clear this examination, or like what should be the quality of like a study that one should go about?
See, generally we tend to hear that quality is what one should focus upon. But again, very personally, I'd see both quality and quantity also are important. See, this is a very competitive exam. So given my rank, so every mark changes your rank by 4 or 5 ranks. So there are 5 to 6 people having the same marks as mine, and their ranks differ. So that is the intensity of competition. So yes, quality, so undoubtedly it matters. But I used to treat this exam, this journey as my love. So if you love someone, if you enjoy that process wholeheartedly, then I don't think you need to count the hours. You need to just be in that process, give your maximum. Even if you waste time for an half an hour, then I used to feel guilty that why didn't I study? I never felt that I am missing out on something, or मेरे को 8 घंटे हो गए, 9 घंटे हो गए, I need to take a break. Yes, never was there a day कि मैंने 11 घंटे से ज्यादा मेरे नहीं निकल पाते थे. मैं कितने भी कोशिश कर लूं, if I study for 12 hours one day, then next day it would be 8 to 9 hours only. So I maintained an average of 9 hours. sometimes 10, sometimes 11. That's it. But yes, these many hours are required. Again, very personal opinion of mine. Since that's what has mattered to me and helped me get success. So I'll speak out my opinion. It might vary for other people, and people may not agree to my view. So that's absolutely fine. But I'd say if you are in love, then you don't count the hours. If you're meeting your targets, if you believe that you want to get through this exam in the first shot with the best possible rank, with the best possible service and cadre, तो मेरे ख्याल से घंटे गिनने ही क्यों है, बस लगे रहो अपना एंजॉय करते रहो दिस प्रोसेस. इफ यू फील टायर्ड, टेक अ ब्रेक. इफ यू डोंट फील टायर्ड, लगे रहो अपना एंजॉय करते रहो. सो हार्डली मैटर्स.
Right. So, like, I would ask another question. This may be like from some of the students. I mean, like, I have heard students asking similar questions. So they ask, like, should we stick to the basic resources that we pick up in the initial days of preparation, or like we should keep on diversifying our resources, like, that we keep on reading. So what do you suggest on this part, and how did you go about this?
I think there would be a consensus on this that you always need to stick to the basics, irrespective of the changing nature of exam. Even in prelims or mains, I'd say the core remains the same. 90% of the stuff remains the same. 10% of it could be diversified. You pick up some quotes from some another source, or you start including examples, or you read something just to add value to your conclusion, or a real life example or case studies. But I think the basic resources remain the same. The core remains the same, and the books remain the same. Those 5 to 7 books help you sail through prelims, through mains, and most of it at interview stage also. So no need to go for a lot of resources. Same resources, multiple revision. I think that is the what I used to hear when I started preparing. That has worked for me, and I'd request my fellow aspirants, the future aspirants also, to please stick to the basics and start. Then you will automatically start adding value from the mock test solutions and so on. No need to diversify to a lot of resources.
All right. So there is another set of questions that generally comes from students. They ask, like, should we make the notes online, or we should prepare the notes by writing it like on a piece of paper or on the notebooks? So how did you go about it, and like what do you suggest to future aspirants, like what should be their take?
I think it should be very personal to the aspirant. Since I was a working professional for 4 years, so I had a very good typing speed, and I was very pro with the Microsoft Office, Excel, Word, or the keynotes. So I preferred them out of my own convenience, and then out of a perception that since this would be long journey, I would need to continuously update my notes. So I preferred the soft copy notes for most of the subjects. But there are some people who might not have had experience with the Microsoft Office or the soft copy notes. So I think hard copy notes are equally good, especially for the subjects like history, art and culture, or polity, or to large extent ethics also. You make hard copy notes by leaving a 20 to 25% margin on either sides, and then make your hard copy notes with the progress of time. Keep adding examples on the margin, because ethics 80%, 90% remains the same. Just examples change, or quotes you can include. So I'd say a hybrid of them should be adopted. For the static subjects like polity, history, any day hard copy notes can be made. But for current affairs, or the subjects which are continuously evolving, the soft copy notes can be made, and then after a month you may take their printout and may include them into your hard copy notes. So it's absolutely your discretion, and the demand of it's like a function of the your own competence, your interest, availability of resources, the nature of the subject, and I think a whole lot of factors come into play. All of them, both of them are equally good, and the hybrid of them is, to my mind, the best possible way forward.
Yeah, another basic question that generally comes from students is like, what kind of pen does a topper like you use in writing the mains exam?
I'd say it's a very important question, because I always used to struggle with the answer writing speed. I never used to complete the papers. In fact, in this attempt also, I struggled with some of the papers. So I always used to explore a lot of people, lot of sources. कि यार कौन सा pen use करे थोड़ा speed सही रहे. So in first attempt I used V5, but in second attempt I did something that was like super innovative. I just copied one of the toppers. So there is a refill of V5 or V7. Refill, there is the detachable refill from the pen. So like this is the pen. So इसकी अगर मैं refill निकाल लूँ, इसकी नहीं निकलेगी. But I think वो V5 होता है या maybe Trimax होता है. I'm just not able to recall the name. I don't have it right now. तो मैं उसकी refill ले जाता था. Very small refill, very lightweight, but very fast speed. तो जितना weight इसका कम होगा, उतना आपका हाथ जल्दी आप चला सकते हो. तो resistance, inertia, whatever it is, वो कम होगा. So I did with that very small refill. I wrote the exams with that refill, and that helped me a lot. So आप सब try कर सकते हो if it helps you also.
Right. And like we also generally get some of the questions like what should be the minimum number of hours that a student should sleep while he or she is into preparation phase.
Again, sir, depends upon person to person. To me, I could never survive with less than 7 or 7.5 hours. मतलब मेरे 8 hours always 8 hours, 7.5 to 8 hours always होंगे, ज़्यादा भले हूँ, but never less than that. That has been how the things have been with me. चाहे वो prelims हो, चाहे mains हो, चाहे interview हो. So again, but there were my friends who do better than me with just by sleeping 5 to 6 hours. It depends upon the body type, but don't get bogged down if your roommate or your friend is sleeping 6 hours and you are sleeping 8 hours. Hardly matters in the long run. It is a test match, not a T20 match. We are in for a long run. So just focus on the hours you are awake. So once you are awake, then focus on your journey. And if you are not able to work with 6 hours, then work with 7 hours, 8 hours, hardly matters. 8 hours to me is 7 to 8 hours is the most optimum hours of sleeping.
All right. So like we do have another basic set of question. I mean, like, during preparation phase, many students, like feel demotivated. I mean, like, they feel like, like we are not in the right pace or like we are not preparing in the right way. So how did you keep yourself motivated during the preparation phase? Since you told like it is a marathon game, it's a test match. It's not a 1 day or T20 like that. So how should one keep himself or herself motivated for this examination?
Sir, I think number one, each one of us get demotivated at some point of time. I am not superhuman. Nobody is superhuman. We all get demotivated. That's the truth one should accept. One should not run away from it that why I am demotivated. Yeah, why I was not able to study for 10 to 12 hours today. Yeah, so it's nothing like that. It happens with everyone. Number one. Number two, you need to see. I am a big Harvey Specter fan. So I had my wallpaper on my laptop that do not give up on a thing which you cannot go a day without thinking about. Or the other quote was that if something is important for me, you find the ways to achieve it, or if something is not important for you, then you find the excuses to avoid it. So I think that has to be there, and then you will automatically find the ways and means to go out of that demotivation. So motivation again is a virtuous cycle, and demotivation again is a virtuous cycle, a vicious cycle. So if you're demotivated, then you will study less and focus more on movies, entertainment. Then again, your content would be covered less. You would feel more. You would have more guilt. Then again, demotivated, and then the vicious cycle continues. So the only answer to that is, अगर आपका दिल नहीं भी कर रहा, you just sit on that study table. You work. मतलब अगर आप 1 घंटे में, if you had it been a normal day, you would have been studying 10 pages. आप demotivated हो, आप परेशान हो, you are not happy, you would might study a 1 page, a half page, but at least you would do something. But if you start avoiding it, then again that vicious cycle kicks in. It happens with everyone. So one can just be very fine with that. It happens with everyone. And the ways I used to do that was I used to visit a religious place very, very regularly to just, vent out my grievances to God, or to pray for more energy. And then again, your parents, your family, your friends. I think friends play a significant role. 2-3 अच्छे दोस्त होने चाहिए. If they are not there, still it's okay. So I think we have read enough of Gandhiji in history and ethics, and what he did it alone. So he was like, be the change you wish to see in the world. Again, coming to our Atmanirbhar Bharat, so you have to be self-reliant. Do not be dependent on others. There will be demotivations, there will be failures, there will be setbacks, there will be struggles. Everything is part of it. Just face it and accept it कि हर एक के साथ होता है, and you would find way out of it.
All right. So, like at times, like those students like who are appearing for interview, they are under huge pressure because like they feel that this interview is going to make or break my career. So, what was your experience on that day? I mean, on the interview day before you appeared before the board, or like how do you like narrate us about your interview experience this year?
Sir, since I had the prior experience of Punjab PCS interview, so but my Punjab PCS interview was not so good. In layman terms, my Punjab PCS interview was just like a roadies interview. I was absolutely grilled. No time given, nothing asked, nothing said, but it was just absolutely like I never understood ki ho kya gaya. But UPS interview was too good. It was too smooth. It was like it was Satyavati ma'am's board. She read out my DAF. Then she very luckily she asked the question I wanted her to ask. That why are you not practicing your CA and why you are in state? And then the thing started flowing. मतलब इंटरव्यू में आपको स्ट्रेस या आपकी कॉन्शियसनेस सिर्फ और सिर्फ शुरुआत 30 सेकंड्स में होगी, 30 सेकंड्स और 1 मिनट. once that minute is over you will realize that आपका इंटरव्यू खत्म हो चुका है. with उसके बीच वाले 29 30 minutes 35 minutes you won't even realize कि चल क्या रहा है. They would be asking questions, you would be giving answers, you would be so much into that, immersed into that process कि आपको पता भी नहीं लगेगा कि कब वो टाइम निकल गया. Such is the beauty of the interview process. And interview panel members, the honorable board members, they are so cordial. They would give you ample opportunities. They would try to listen to you. They would give you a benefit of doubt. And if you have actually and very honestly worked hard, तो अगर आप गलती भी कर दोगे तो still you would get very good marks. And so be very honest. And बस अपने अपने honesty से ना अपनी मेहनत करते जाओ. One day you will arrive at your destination. And interview, yes, undoubtedly there is an element of chance or uncertainty, no denying, but fortune favors the brave. So prepare well. uh, be a person you are, show the true personality, and you would get through. That has what has happened with me. I got 190, and interview was very smooth. And I don't think I was very aptly prepared. मेरी तो training चल रही थी, and 5th April interview started. My interview came on 12th. So I did not have the opportunity to prepare much. But trust me, that just the fortune and the nature will favor you. Be very honest in your preparation.
All right. So, like, what will be your message for those aspirants who have not yet started, preparing for UPSC, who may be like going to a college, they may be in school as well. So nowadays, like, people plan in advance for 15 years. I mean, like, they are kids and their dream is to become IAS officers. So what will be your message to them?
If you are in your school, I'd say just chill, make your memories. अपने अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो, school homework करो. If you want to study for IAS, I'd say focus on your personality, not just on starting reading polity or history in your 9th or 10th. Focus on your personality, focus on your soft skills, make memories. यार मतलब if people are clearing by preparing for 1 year or 1.5 year, and if you want to spend 5 years for that, I mean, you would miss out on certain aspects. And having the benefit of hindsight, I'd say there is a lot of things then you would say कि यार that actually shows up in your personality if you have been too much into one thing. So अपना school में हो आपको, if you have a aim, it's okay, keep it in your mind. uh, read about those things, spend very little time on that, but अपना बस अपना जो that moment is there. Do lead your school life very well, make very good friends, spend time with your family, play sports, work on your hobbies, because those hobbies, so I had the hobby of writing rap songs. I had the habit of teaching my CA students once I completed my CA. I used to do that till very end of it, and that reflected in my DAF, and I answered the questions from it very well. So school time and college time, yes, if you have aim for UPSC, then definitely start preparing for it. College life के साथ साथ according to your time level, please do read it because it's very competitive exam, and if you are doing it in college life also, थोड़ा time पढ़ रहे हो, it will always give you an edge. But school life में just chill and enjoy. It's not the time to get into this the very vicious cycle of this UPSC, so to say. But school life में तो chill करो, college life में थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ाई कर लो.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sujawal, for like interacting with us today. And like we extend heartiest wishes from our side so that like you excel in your career to come. And thank you for interacting. Like in future, we may try to arrange some maybe virtual meeting with our director sir as well, Ansari sir, because you have been his like one of his students in case studies batch. So thank you so much from the institute part for interacting with us today. Thank you.
My pleasure interacting with you, and my sincere gratitude towards Ansari sir and Lukmaan IAS towards contributing to my success journey. And it was a thorough my pleasure interacting with you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Study General Studies with Lukmaan IAS for building comprehensive knowledge. GS paper 2 and 4 will be taken by S. Ansari, and other papers will be covered by renowned faculties. Live classes are as effective as offline classes. The classes are highly interactive in nature. Your doubts and queries will be addressed, and there will be dictation of notes. In the last 10 years, Lukmaan IAS has set up a niche in the field of UPSC guidance.